In every single home, there's this invisible war being fought, a constant battle that's happening right under your feet and behind your walls. So today we're going to pull back the curtain on this unseen battle and figure out what it means for the very life of your house.
I want you to really think about this for a second. What's the one system in your home that, if it fails, brings pretty much everything else to a grinding halt?
Okay, it's not the walls. I mean, sure, they give it shape, but they aren't what keeps a house alive. And nope, it's not the roof either. I mean, it keeps you dry, which is great, but a house can totally stand without a perfect roof. That's not what makes it function. It's the plumbing, that hidden network of pipes you never ever see. It's basically the circulatory system of your home. And believe it or not, in a lot of places, it's fighting a battle for its life every single day. So who's the enemy in this fight? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking. It isn't some person or some company. The real enemy? It's the very ground your house is built on. And to see what I mean, let's look at a place like South Louisiana. We're going to use Timberlane as a perfect example. Why? Because it is one of the most challenging environments for plumbing anywhere in the country. The ground itself is putting pipes under constant, just unrelenting pressure. The main culprit here is something called expansive clay soil. So during the wet season, this stuff swells up like a giant sponge, and it literally squeezes the underground pipes, cracking their joints. Then, when the dry season comes around, it shrinks back down, it contracts, and it yanks those same pipes out of alignment. It is just this relentless year-round assault. But wait, it's not just the soil. It's more like a combination punch. You've got a high groundwater table pushing up from below, you've got seasonal flooding adding pressure from above, and that humid climate, it just speeds up corrosion on any exposed metal. It is the absolute perfect storm for plumbing failure. Okay, so where exactly are these battles being fought? Let's take a look at the most common failure points, the places where these environmental forces do the most damage.
First up, the sewer line. This is a primary target. Think about it. Tree roots, especially from those huge, beautiful live oaks, are always hunting for water. And guess what? They will find it by breaking right into your sewer pipes. Now you add in that shifting soil we just talked about, and what you get are cracked lines, dirt pouring in, and eventually, a total blockage.
All right, another critical battlefield is your water heater. It's really fighting a war on two fronts. The humid air corrodes the tank from the outside, while sediment from the water supply builds up on the inside. And this buildup, it acts like a thick blanket on the heating element, which forces it to work way harder and overheat. That constant stress is exactly what causes them to fail early, sometimes cutting their lifespan down to as little as 8 years. It's crazy.
And we can't forget the sump pumps. These are basically the unsung heroes in your basement or crawl space, the little pumps that automatically push water out. But in a place like Timberlane, with its super high water table, they are the absolute last line of defense against flooding. If one of those fails during a big storm, well, the damage can be catastrophic.
Okay, so the situation might seem pretty dire, right? But here's the good news. This is a winnable war. You just need the right weapons and the right strategy. And that is where the professionals come in. And the crucial thing to understand here is the difference in capability. Let's say you have a severe clog. A homeowner might have, a little hand-cranked snake from the hardware store. A professional shows up with a hydrojetter, which is basically a high-powered pressure washer for your pipes, and a camera to see exactly what's happening. It's not even a fair fight. It's like bringing a garden hose to a fire. And this tech is about way more than just clearing clogs. We're talking about tools that are almost like superpowers. They can use video cameras to literally see inside your pipes, use electronic leak detectors to find water behind walls without smashing anything, and run pressure tests to find tiny little weak spots before they become a huge, catastrophic burst.
And this all fits into a really clear, disciplined process. It all starts with a proper diagnosis, no guesswork. Then you get a clear upfront price, so there are absolutely no surprises. Only after you give the okay does the work actually begin, and it's always followed by a final walkthrough to make sure everything is perfect. It's all about transparency and building trust. But listen, you are not helpless in this fight. Not at all. The best defense is a good offense, and there are some really simple things you can do to become the first line of defense for your own home.
So, what's in your playbook? How can you actually do this? Well, it all starts with one thing: observation. You have to become an active guardian of your home, not just someone who lives there. Your house is constantly sending you signals. You just have to know how to lead them. You hear that gurgling sound from your toilet? That usually means there's a partial clog downstream creating a vacuum. See a weirdly lush green patch of grass in your yard? That could be a sewer leak feeding it. Get a sudden spike in your water bill? That water is going somewhere you don't want it to. These are all early warnings of a much bigger problem. Okay, and here are your action items. This is your homework. First, do you know where your main water shutoff valve is? If not, find it tonight. Seriously. And simple things like disconnecting your garden hoses before a freeze or just paying attention and listening for new weird sounds from your pipes, that can prevent a total disaster. And hey, just like your car, your plumbing system needs regular maintenance to stay healthy. So at the end of the day, that unseen battle in your home, it's always going on. It's a constant struggle against the environment. But by understanding the enemy and knowing these warning signs, you can turn a potential disaster into just a manageable problem. Your home is talking to you all the time. The real question is, are you listening?